No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Dr. Evil wasn't in Spectre.
Welcome again, Misfits, to another Under the Lid, and this time we're taking a look at Spectre, the board game. Now, this is by Modifius Entertainment, and this is based on James Bond, except you're not playing James Bond, you're playing the bad guys. I've been waiting ages to do my Dr. Evil impression. I absolutely love Austin Powers. It's pretty good, right? It's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. You put in the comments whether you think my Austin Powers impression is good or not. For $1 million.
Right.
Fine. We'll move on with the unboxing here, guys. We have our Spectre, the board game. Now, this actually, you're playing the bad guys in this game. Can you be number one? So not only you're running around trying to take over the world, because you know what else you're going to do when you're the big bad guys, but James Bond will show up and smack you around every now and then. So you got to like sometimes get help from your other Spectre, because that was the evil organization, of course, that Blofeld and all those guys are part of. You got to have help from your friends to take down James Bond and get him out of your hair. However, of course, you're trying to also be number one. So you can't help him too much, or you can't get help from everybody too much because you want to be the winner. This is not a co-op. It is semi-co-op at best, obviously, because, you know, you're murderers. This actually reminds me of SNL. You ever see that old SNL skit with James Bond? That's a great picture right there. I love that picture right there. Mr. Bond, I have you now. Prepare to meet your doom in the slow-moving dipping mechanism.
Okay, they weren't Dr. Evil. He was a parody of them.
No, it was Dr. Evil. I saw James Bond. I know what I'm talking about.
Did not sound like Lord Michaels.
He totally sounded like that. Anyway, where is I going in my story here? Oh, these are the punch-outs, by the way, guys. Briefcases, gold, you know, generally stuff you need to take over the world with. And this is the Spectre symbol and all that jazz. I imagine for each player on your scoreboard, you keep track. So the skit was an old Saturday Night Live skit. You guys could look it up. But I think, John Lovitz was in it. And they each played a Bond villain. And Randy Quaid was also in it. And one was like Blofeld. Lovitz was Blofeld, and Randy Quaid was Scaramanga or something like that. And anyway, they were on like a news show or like one of those talk shows or whatever. You know, we had those in the 80s and 90s. And I think we still have them today, don't we? And they were like, you know, what would you do different? It's like, nah, we wouldn't put him in a room and wait for him to die. You know, you just got to shoot him right there. Yeah, that was a big mistake, you know. And they would talk about how, like, you know, oh, we took him, but we forgot to, like, one time I took all his gadgets, but I forgot to actually take his gun. I was so involved and he shot me in the shoulder. Very funny skit. You had to be there, I guess. Go watch it. It's on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. But I digress. This is the map for, that was a long story, wasn't it? So I'm going on with the map here for Spectre.
Cut that out.
You may have to cut. No, it's good. Just put it as the ender. Just put a stinger. I love it. Anyway, so this is the map for Spectre, of course. You're going to go around the world, obviously getting money to build your doomsday machine or laser sharks or whatever, of course, you know, whatever your heart desires. And, you know, so you can obviously take over the world. Now, one thing Modifius does that I like, woo, making it rain, woo. They don't spare in the baggies. I like that a lot, only because, you know, even though we have thousands of baggies, I love the smell of new baggies. I just love getting new baggies. It's like a little treat in every box. We have cubes, lots of cubes. I imagine these are color-coded to the player, I would think, since you have blue, you have yellow, you have green, and you have red cubes. I would say that's an accurate assessment, wouldn't you, Misfit Tom?
I would say so.
That is accurate. And then you have your movers. I will say one thing about Spectre is their logo is kind of lame. It looks like a Halloween logo a little bit, right? I don't know. Did they make that logo up? Is that like a, like I expected better out of a multi-million-dollar evil organization? You know, like a Starbucks logo. Listen, number two, you should have given us a Starbucks logo, number two. You know, something a little snazzier, maybe with a mermaid on it, perhaps. Just saying. Just saying, guys. Not to disparage you. Don't kill me with their slow-moving dipping mechanism. I would really not like that very much because I'm not James Bond. I don't get out of those things. So we got our dice. Looks like 1, 2, 3, and then you have your James Bond eye. Looks like, I guess, almost looks like it's unraveling or it's broken, kind of cool looking. Because right, this is the James Bond.
Yeah, it's a background of the James Bond.
Yeah, where he shoots out of. Looks cool. Nice little touch. I do like the fact that they're larger size. I give props to anybody who puts non-normal dice in, the old school, wrist dice, puts, either makes them bigger, smaller, puts logos on them, stuff like that. It just kind of improves things. And dude, best part of the game right there. Look at that. 007 poker chip. Because, 007 never gambled, right? Ever. There's also another skit with Steve Martin and James Bond, actually. Did you see that one?
We're not doing an SNL review today.
Okay, all right, dang it all. There is. It's funny, though. It's Steve Martin and Sting. And, yeah, Steve Martin was like, but he was James Bond, but he was like the American version of James Bond, and he was broke. So, like, he would bet $1 at the poker table or whatever, and then he would try to take all the free pretzels. You don't remember that? Yeah. And Sting was Gold Sting or whatever. And he's like, I'm going to bet this dollar bill. And they're like, it's a $50 minimum. He's like, you won't take my money? Stuff like. And then, like, he was with this girl later and he's like, we're going to go to Epcot, and stuff like that. It was very funny. I watch a lot of James Bond skits. What can I say? I grew up with James Bond. My mom watched all of the James Bond movies, and thus so did I. I will say, I'll go on record now. Sean Connery is the best Bond. However, I have a special place in my heart for Roger Moore. I watch a lot of Roger Moore. I don't know why. I just really like Roger Moore. Not the best Bond, but very cool.
Because he went to space. You only liked it because he went to space.
No, that was not why. Actually, I liked his chutzpah. I liked just
chutzpah?
He had charisma. He just had that whole charisma thing down. He didn't look like a badass like Sean Connery did, but he had that charm. Like he was like this kind of Britishy charm going for him, where Connery you didn't mess with, he looked like a badass. Just Roger Moore looked like a cool British dude you want to hang out with, We just kind of had that thing going. I digress. I know a lot about James Bond. You can cut all that out too, that's fine. I'm not getting that open. Do I got to bother opening that? There's Blofeld on it though. I can't get that open. My powers are failing me right now. So those are the cards. And now for this really extra long under the lid. Misfit Tom's got to do some editing on this one, boys and girls. We got all your different evil organizations. This looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to place this. They did a good job with all of the different characters. I don't know Raul Silva. That's Silva.
He was
that must
in the latest movie.
Okay.
One of the latest ones.
I didn't see that, so yeah. I'd be Blofeld. I didn't like Largo a whole lot. Rosa Klebb. No, I didn't like Rosa Klebb. I did like Christado or whatever that guy. He was in one of the newer ones though, wasn't he?
I think he was in one of Roger Moore's.
Or was it Roger Moore, maybe? He looks familiar, so probably not the newer ones, because I didn't really see the newer ones
Flip
much.
them over. I think there's more on the other side, too. No?
That's a black
I thought
side.
there was some more.
That's all. That's all you
I
get.
thought Goldfinger was in this. Well.
That's the expansion pack. There you go. You're welcome, Modiphius. You don't have to pay, you don't have to even give us any props for that, okay, guys? So, guys, it's been another Underlid. I think I used up all of my time in this Underlid with my James Bond stories, but I hope you enjoyed them. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Who your favorite James Bond is? Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, we have some Pierce Brosnan, whatever. Just leave us a comment, please. Don't forget to like, subscribe, guys, and don't forget to dun, game on.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.